All right, good afternoon. It's 3 p.m. I'll call a meeting to order. If you have a cell phone, please mute or turn it off. Becky, will you call roll, please?
Sure will. Tom Wilson, Dean DeFrio,
Here.
Jack Scrogstead,
Here.
Mike Pearson,
Here.
Ryan Rod.
Here.
Okay, there's nobody here other than us, so I don't have to get any comments from them. Approval of minutes from the last meeting. If there are no changes or corrections to the minutes from the October 14th meeting, they will stand as presented. No changes, okay. Maintenance department report and updates. Eric, is there anything you'd like to share with us today?
Yep, just got a sheet here. Started on old courts, with the retaining wall. The rendering is in progress, so I don't have an exact update on when you're gonna be able to see that. But I'm hoping within the next 4 weeks. Better. We've been planning the best move for several months. And we were planning on doing it here in late November. I just was talking to IT director, and it sounds like this is going to be postponed again. He still has quite a bit of things on his plate. So I'm going to say we're going to push this back till December now, and whenever it happens, it happens. So we did throw Christmas decorations up. I don't have that in the report, but see all the fancy candles in every window, and we threw up the wreaths on the north end and garland on the south end. So we are all in Christmas spirit. As far as the rest of the old courts, it's been fairly quiet. New courts is a different story. We went and did all the load testing and all the circuitry and every single panel, and through that to ComEd, and with the results, they're basically wanting to double our transformer size from a 250 kVA to a 500 or 225. So the ball is in ComEd's lap at the moment. I have not heard back from that specific person yet. We're hoping to see this done before spring. I will let you know as much as I know, but that is all I know right now. But we will end up having to basically shut down the entire building for several hours, and assuming we can have the generator running to keep health department's specific items cold. That's what we're planning on doing. If not, we'll have to go a different route with a smaller generator outside the building and run cords to it just for a small amount of time. Fourth floor has been repainted and painted again, and now we're just kind of adding final touches to door frames and windows, and some countertops have been painted, and blinds have been removed, and we're in the process of ordering new blinds for just the judges area. The south side by the elevator corridor, we are going to tint those windows. We're hoping to get all this done before December 3rd, which is the open house for the fourth floor. Judge Ackert's courtroom was just, we had a vinyl wall assembled on kind of behind her bench, and the seal was just installed, so it looks pretty nice. It's a fancy courtroom now. All the exterior doors have been numbered for the emergency sheriffs and fire department and whoever. if we do have an emergency, they can actually identify the doors. We just had a shipment of chairs come in. We had 13 that were just assembled last week and another 13 dropped today. So that's keeping one guy busy for a little bit. And down to LEC and animal control, there's been hail damage this summer. And we've been kind of hem-hawing around on what we're doing. And it sounds like we're 100% getting all the roofs replaced. And we're talking the metal roofs, not the rubber roofs. There's been some, I would not say super extensive hail damage, but if we don't use that insurance money to do it, we will lose it if we don't do it. So sounds like in spring, we'll try to get that fired up, and go through the bid process. So we'll be working on that within the next month or two. There's an RTU4 that has a damper motor that's been malfunctioning. That should be on the docket either this week or next week. As far as grounds go, it's snow prep time. We've been doing a bunch of rounds of cleaning leaves and removing them, and the end of this week we're hoping to get the majority of them. It still looks like there's some on the trees, but by the end of the week we should have the majority of that done. We sealed the new dumpster fence we put up at the FMD. We did end up hanging a flag at the FMD with a solar light. And the recycle bin, we will hopefully be bringing back at least one of them to the head and pin lot and fence that area in and keep it open during business hours. So our business hours would be from 6 to 3. That way there is no outside hours and people are just kind of dumping things. Go ahead.
Yesterday.
That's not completely finalized yet, so don't go wild with it being opened. We haven't locked in when that's gonna happen. Or what that process is exactly gonna look like yet, but that's the hope.
But this is the employee parking lot back there by
Yep.
the old garage,
Yep.
maintenance garage.
By the shed, yep. The hopes is to at least bring one back, and if everybody's on board with it, let's do it. And I think that would be the best spot.
Depending on how it goes, there's plenty of electricity back there. You could always install some cameras of some sort if we needed to. That'd be something that, in the interest of keeping people honest.
I was told the Franklin Grove, is it? It's been routinely getting filled up and filled up.
Yeah,
because
so
of-
they are all of them. I mean, we have 5 other locations since, we've had 6 without Dixon's, we've had 5, and they're all being utilized. There is a scheduled pickup for Franklin Grove, and then the other 4 locations are call-in service. So essentially when they are filled up, the municipality will call and say they need to pick up. So far, our service provider's been working with that, to the best of their ability, but they have been utilized quite a bit more.
Do you know by chance when the scheduled pickup is for Franklin Grove?
Give me 1 second. I do believe it's Wednesdays, but let me look
Wednesdays.
here.
Okay.
Let me look here.
And is it being abused like it was in Dixon?
No. I mean, they all had their own little issues anyway, previous to this. Now, outside of them just being filled up more, there has not been anything to note that I've been told, because I did ask if there were any issues. Let me make sure here.
I think you're always gonna have somebody that just kind of goes a
I
little
agree.
overboard.
Sure,
That-
yeah, you're gonna have here and there, but it just seemed like it was constant in the Dixon area.
Yeah,
It was for
and-
sure.
and
So
I'm
Franklin
not-
Groves is scheduled for every Wednesday, every pickup
Okay.
every Wednesday. And then
Alright.
the other four, as I said, are
Yeah,
call, when they call, they'll pick it up. I did ask if there had been any issues and outside of, Franklin Grove getting slammed. That's all they've noted.
Okay,
So
thank you.
again, what we've been discussing in-house between myself and Eric and Dave Anderson is if we look at, if we can't get a municipal location, which obviously has been the goal in working with City of Dixon on that for quite some time, that seems to not really be getting any traction. We want to test out utilizing potentially, our own site location, which is where we've identified that fenced-in area, as Eric said. We're just not necessarily there yet. We did communicate, Dave and I had talked last week, which I think you probably reached out to Eric already, about moving the platform to that location, to move it out of the facility on the west end where the food pantry is, so they could start getting ready for winter themselves as well. So it's gonna end up sitting outside, out there until we have everything set up for that. We're hoping for the spring. I don't know, but we're talking about one or two. We thought maybe we could try with one, with it being, talking about having it just with specific service hours. Hoping that might, limit the need for two. Or else, we could fit two in there. We're gonna have to work with loading and unloading and making sure that we have, the gate system set up properly for the trucks to come in and out. So we have to work through that.
We also need to figure out if we did put two in there, it might be possible, but extremely tight. Currently, we have two fire department trailers, I believe, in there, or at least one, and one health department trailer. So, I know there's been some moving around with specific things from the airport just to try to jostle things around. So I don't know exactly where those things would go.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
thing, as I said, it's just, again, this is in theory what we're looking at doing. If we cannot find that location that we're still hunting for with, in partnership with the city. But as Eric said, we want to provide the service if our last resort would be looking in that location.
And speaking of recycling, we don't currently have a program here in the county buildings that we recycle. Everything basically just goes to the trash. And if we did have that bin at the Hennepin lot, it would be much easier to separate recyclables from trash and lower our container usage.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of departments that would do recycle and would like to have an internal program set up. So having something on site would be beneficial for that too.
Okay, so the FMD we've just been settling into our building and into our limbo program and trying to edit assets that have been inputted in there since before my time. This is going to be an ongoing process that hopefully, we'll have everything kind of settled for the hit by a bus theory. If anybody gets hit by a bus, gets hit by a bus, we should be able to, the next people who take our positions should be able to just lock and load and they're ready to go. So, again, an ongoing process, but we're starting to pick at it. We are snow equipment ready. So this past Saturday, it was about ready for us to get called out, and we didn't end up getting that call, but we are ready for it. ADS alarm detection system will be installing fire alarms and smoke detectors in our new building December 3rd through, it's going to take them roughly 5 days. So. And lastly, I did call the city of Dixon to see if they can identify if our retaining wall is ours or not. And I was told that we needed a survey. So if we are on board to get a survey done, I'm not exactly sure what the price tag is on that, but it might be beneficial for us to do so. Other than that, that's all I got, boys.
All right, any questions for Eric? Thank you for everything you're doing.
welcome.
Joe's not here. I see his report is in the agenda. And they do have the building codes and stuff downloaded and ready to go, it sounds like, so. If anybody has any questions or wants to stop in and take a look at it, I'm sure he'd show you around. No unfinished business, no new business, no executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Pearson, Mr. Scrogstead, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?